looking forward to being with you this morning. So if everyone, there'll be a little bit of housekeeping and talking about what's going to happen in just a few minutes. But in the meantime, if everyone could mute themselves, that would be great. So if you could just take a moment and mute yourself, that would be wonderful. And we're just going to start with a little bit of a clip about what to expect and to let you know about the conference. Again, thanks so much for being here, and let's get started.
More rapidly, so the price has gone up to $84.
So if you visit the Adirondack region, own a second home here, have attended school, are a recent college graduate still in the area, if you're a local resident who's lived here and has always wanted to consider or look at owning a business, this conference is for you. If you live in the city and you'd really like to consider moving to a rural area, this conference is for you. So one of the reasons to attend the conference, why I think it's so interesting, is yes, we're going to be talking about business ownership, but we're going to be looking at existing businesses, and potentially you'll get to meet existing business owners that are looking to sell their business right now. And one of the barriers to moving to a rural area is finding good paying jobs. Sometimes that's difficult. One of the ways to make the move happen is to consider buying an existing business. Existing business has a history of cash flow, and that will give you an opportunity to move in and pick up where the current business owners is. Maybe they can help you even transition, but you'll have immediate profit. Versus starting up a business, the startup phase can be 6 months, 18 months before the business generates any cash at all. And another great reason to attend the conference is because existing business owners that are looking to retiring are baby boomers. Maybe they haven't taken advantage of all the technology, social media. So as you look during the conference at potential businesses that are available, don't just look at what they're doing right now. Think about the opportunities of how you can grow this business and make it your own. So join us for the Small Communities Big Opportunities Conference, February 24th to 27th. Sign up for the conference at northcountryopportunities.com.
Thank you so much. I hope everybody was able to see that video. I'm just going to take a moment and introduce Lexi Subra from ANCA, the Adirondack North Country Association, to give us some tips and pointers about the kinds of things we should need to know on the Zoom call today.
Good morning, everyone, or afternoon. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I would just ask, if you haven't already, to go ahead and mute yourself. You'll be muted for the duration of this conference, but please feel free to use the chat box feature to send in questions throughout the session. And we would also like to acknowledge, even though we're all not together in a physical space, we all are on First Nation lands. As ANCA, we recognize that we live and work on the ancestral grounds of the Haudenosaunee people. And every session will be recorded. You can find it at the ANCA YouTube channel, and we will send you the links after every session. Thank you very much.
Thanks for getting us started, Lexi. Much appreciated. Okay, I've got some beginning words that I'm going to share with folks, and so I'm just going to share my screen again, so bear with me for a moment. Great, and you guys can still hear me okay? Yeah, great, excellent. So thanks for letting us be a part of your journey to business ownership. I'm Danny Delaney. I'm the Business Transition Coordinator at the Adirondack North Country Association. We are so grateful to, We are so grateful to have you with us today, and I apologize. Okay. And we'd particularly like to thank Community Bank, NA, who is our lead sponsor for this program, as well as Glens Falls National Bank and Trust Company. I think Rick Schward is visiting us here today as one of our sponsors. So thank you so much for being here and participating. We'd also like to thank the SUNY Canton SBDC at Clinton Community College, who has made this program possible, both through their sponsorship, time, and expertise. So I'm going to stop sharing because you saw those slides. You're pretty good there. And I'll just talk for just a few minutes. The Center for Businesses in Transition is supported in part by the Northern Border Regional Commission through a grant through that federal agency so that we can do this work. Why are we doing it? What are we doing? So thousands of Adirondack North Country businesses are becoming available as business owners prepare for retirement or career changes. Aspiring entrepreneurs like you are thinking about how to take over those businesses. This event is designed to be a learning and networking opportunity for aspiring entrepreneurs looking to take over a business. And we really want to be here to help empower you if you live here, if you want to move here, to realize your dreams of business ownership. The Center for Businesses in Transition is a dynamic partnership between regional organizations all throughout the North Country. Economic developers, folks who work in industrial development agencies, financiers, folks who are doing this work with their communities like chambers of commerce. So we work in partnership and coalition to provide free and low-cost resources, both to businesses who are looking to transition and aspiring entrepreneurs who want to take those businesses over. The goal is to help owners sell their businesses on the open market, complete intergenerational family transfers, or convert to an employee-owned or cooperative model. We're not real estate agents, we're not business brokers, we're not accountants or lawyers, but we are here to serve you in connecting to different resources that are available. We would like to take a moment because this is a partnership, it is a coalition, it's not just me, it's not just Anka, it's all sorts of people. We just want to take a moment and ask our liaisons all throughout the region and our partners to take a moment in the chat and introduce themselves. Through any of our programs throughout the week, if there's someone that you want to reach out to in a particular area, please do so. They are here, they are part of our liaison community, and they are here to answer questions and want to connect with you. Thank you so much for all the folks that are able to be there. So one quick note about the sort of intended audience for this event. For this event, we're really focusing on aspiring entrepreneurs looking for new opportunities. We're featuring businesses that are publicly for sale and seeking a new owner that they haven't met yet, not someone who works for them already. If you already work at a business you're taking over or interested in a business model of worker-owned cooperatives, please reach out. We want to talk to you more about that. Some of the things during this week will be helpful for you. Some of them might not be, right? Some of them might be how to approach a business owner that you don't know. So please reach out. We have lots of resources for either of those groups. But for this week, we're really focused on those that are publicly for sale that maybe don't have someone else in mind yet. So ANCA, I work at ANCA, the Adirondack North Country Association. And the Center for Businesses in Transition is run by us. We are focused on growing a new economy that works for all and not just a few. So we just help coordinate this partnership and this work. We focus on food systems, energy economy, and entrepreneurial economy endeavors. And if you're interested in supporting our work or programs like this one, please consider becoming a member. One of the things that we're really excited to announce during this conference, you're the first to hear it, is that we are unveiling a down payment assistance forgiveness program that will help address the lack of capital that is often a barrier for low to moderate income and Black, Indigenous, and people of color who are looking to take over a business. Together through the partnership, our goal is to raise at least $30,000 this year to be able to help transitioning business owners, folks who want to become business owners, realize that dream with some financial assistance. We're accepting donations for that now, and there will be a link in post-event communications if you would like to donate. Sorry, excuse me. And one of the last things I want to talk about is that what do we mean when we say North Country, right? So for folks that might mean a different thing, folks might be just thinking about the Adirondacks, but what we mean 14 northernmost counties: Clinton, Essex, Franklin, Fulton, Hamilton, Herkimer, Jefferson, Lewis, Oneida, Oswego, Saratoga, St. Lawrence, Warren, and Washington counties. You'll see representatives today here from throughout the region. We have bigger representation from the counties where we have liaisons and lead partners. So we'll just get started now. The tagline of our conference is Entrepreneurs Wanted. We are all entrepreneurs in our own ways. thinking, exploring, and developing ideas. Everyone is welcome today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to share a little video about what to expect, and then we're just going to get right into the program.
So here's a rundown of what you can expect at the conference this year. A crash course in taking over an existing North Country business, meeting with professional recruiters on how to work on presenting yourself to potential business owners, speed networking with existing business owners to find out if there's a business that you might be interested in. We're going to talk about relocating, we're going to talk about diversity and entrepreneurship, and we're going to talk about financial and tax considerations when buying a business. You're going to learn about the journey from folks who have made the move here to the Adirondacks. You'll also learn about obtaining financing to purchase a business, planning what's next, right? Understanding the steps for you to take to realize your dream of moving to the North Country region. And to close out the conference, there'll be a virtual brunch where you can meet people that you may have networked with during the conference. And also, if there's a business that has piqued your interest, we're going to have some one-on-one sessions where you can meet that business owner again and take a little bit of a deeper dive with potentially considering the acquisition of their business.
All right, with that, I'm going to pass the mic over to Jenna Krager. Jenna Krager works at Naturally Lewis. She's a Center for Business and Transition liaison. She's one of our newest liaisons, but she's coming out of the gate strong, helping the program. She works at the Lewis County Economic Development Agency. She assists with marketing, program development, and business communications, has a background in marketing and communications, and is really, really invested in making sure that the communities and economics development of the folks in Lewis County is addressed and that she can provide those services. Jenna, we're so excited to have you here today and talking with Jon Beller. The floor is all yours.
Thanks, Danny. Happy to be here, and this is such an exciting day. It is my privilege to introduce Jon Beller, the new owner of Tug Hill Vineyards. Jon and his wife, Taryn, along with their 3 boys, are longtime residents of Lewis County. Jon is the owner of Beller Farms, where his family has milked cows for over a century. At the farm, Jon enjoys taking care of animal management side of the business and is very proud of the team of dedicated employees that he has built. His wife, Taryn, is a special education teacher, and she very much enjoys working with students and seeing their improvements. Their career paths have provided an outlet for community involvement. The Bellers are active with their local school, church, and enjoy outdoor activities with their family, including four-wheeling, dirt bikes, and swimming, which makes Lewis County the perfect place for them. With Jon's passion for fruit trees and all things orchard related, combined with Taryn's love for cooking, they became interested in Tug Hill Vineyards. After 10 months of working side by side with the previous owners, Jon and his family successfully transitioned into the ownership role at Tug Hill Vineyards in January. I speak on behalf of our whole Lewis County community and the North Country when I say that we are excited to see what Jon and his team will accomplish as the new owners. Jon has some great insights to share as an entrepreneur transitioning into an existing business. Thank you so much for joining us, Jon. I'm excited to have this conversation.
Thank you, Jenna. Appreciate working with you guys always.
Yeah, so we will dive right in because we want to hear from you. Can you start by telling us a little bit more about your transition story?
Yes, so obviously my wife and I have a busy life. She's a special ed teacher and we have the dairy farm. So originally, I would say this was our dream for a retirement business, and obviously we're nowhere near retirement. So our original dream was to find something that we could do with the kids that would kind of incorporate everything we're interested in, and also incorporate the businesses we're currently involved with. We're part owners in Black River Valley Natural as well, which is a local creamery. So obviously the cheese side is where that comes into the vineyard, as you could probably already tell. But I like the crop side of things. Taryn likes the cooking, the decorating side of things. And so originally just kind of looking at old buildings around. She loves to renovate things and is very good at it. And we kept looking at things and nothing really seemed like the perfect fit. Everything would have taken a lot of capital to get up and running, a lot of time, obviously a lot of time to build the staff and the clientele base. So the vineyard honestly was not on our radar right away. Hindsight, everyone's thinking, well, that's a perfect fit with what you're interested in. Yes, it is a perfect fit, but it took us a long time to get here. It was a very big business, a very complex business, and more of an expensive business than what we originally were looking to do. But when all the stars aligned, it actually turned out to be about the perfect fit for us. How we originally started it, we have been talking about different things with a lot of different people and just kind of kicking tires. And I got permission from my parents, which are my business partners on the farm, obviously. And I said, do you care if we contact Sue at the vineyard and see if it's still for sale? Because I said, that just looks like fun. And their reaction was, yeah, we knew you would do that eventually. So I kind of took that as that's my blessing right there. Go for it. So actually I got a hold of Brittany first because of being in a small town. I didn't want everyone talking that we were interested in the vineyard. So that's where I really think some of these organizations are great. They can kind of be the liaison, the go-between. So I contacted Brittany, and of course, Brittany Barris, which is Jenna's counterpart at the IDA. And I just said, we're interested in it. Is it still for sale? You know Sue very well. Could you just contact her and ask her, but please don't tell her who it is first. So we went back and forth on some emails. And that actually was about, I would say about exactly a year ago right now. It was a year ago. I met them on Valentine's Day here for the first time. And we just started, talking over things. And I guess the rest is history, but there's a whole lot more in between there.
Oh, perfect. And I think it's important to note that everybody's story is unique. So going around and thinking about starting a new business versus something that already existed, people have their own story. So I'm glad you found it. Can you talk about some hurdles that you faced and overcame during the transition process?
Yeah, a lot of the hurdles I would say were more, I don't want to say legal, but obviously buying a business like this, there's a lot of lawyers involved with stuff because we had to get our liquor license. And then there's, we make spirits here. So actually owning a still is a federal offense if you don't have your license. So, everything had to really line up close. So those were the biggest hurdles. But Mike and Sue were very gracious. They started to let us work here last summer. So first we just told everyone we were helping out, but people soon realized it in a hurry that there was more to it. That was also when we started making up our budgets, working with our banker. Obviously having a close relationship with a banker is important with this, and working with my parents and my other business partners to just make sure everybody was comfortable with this. Overall, there were no big surprises, no big hurdles. It took a lot longer than I expected. It took us about 6 months longer than we expected to get to the finish line. COVID did not help that. A lot of times the lawyers' offices were closed and people were out. So you go a couple weeks at a time without making any progress at all. But Mike and Sue were really great to work with. They helped us a lot. We helped with the pruning last summer. We helped with the events, and it really made it a lot easier of a transition. But I think the best advice I would give people is these things take time. They take a lot of time, especially a business like the vineyard here that had a lot of different aspects going on all at once. And I'm kind of an impatient person at time, and I would have, to say it frankly, and I would have liked this to have been done in a couple months, and basically it took us a whole year to get to the finish line.
Yeah, how important would you say it was that Sue and Mike were there to mentor you through the process? If they weren't there, how would your experience have been in taking over the business?
Yeah, that was definitely one of the biggest assets of it, was that they were here to help us. They showed us everything. Sue actually let me have access to the Square point of sale system, so I could see sales all of last summer, and that was neat to look up how events were doing, what people liked and things like that. If it was not for that, I would have, if Sue would have said day one, well, you can have it, but we're walking away, and by the way, the staff is leaving, we would have never done it. The fact that the staff all stayed and Mike and Sue showed us, helped a lot, because this was a huge step for us. Even though we've been in business for a long time, this is something totally different, and it's a pretty broad business to learn everything.
Absolutely. And where do you see yourself in the next year with Tug Hill Vineyards? You're already starting to make a few changes and it's very exciting for the community. We want to know what's in store.
Yeah, so we got a lot of different things up our sleeves. I don't think anything's a big secret. There's been quite a bit of buzz about it already going on. So we did remodel the downstairs. It's called the Vintners Lounge now. The idea is to make Tug Hill Vineyards more than just a vineyards. I think in the past, when people hear vineyards, they say, oh, I don't drink wine, I'm not going to go there. So we actually did change the name. It's going to be Tug Hill Estate to try to incorporate everything that we do here. We're an event center. We've coined what we do for food a pop-up dining event because we're not a restaurant, but we have a lot of different meals and stuff. So we're coining them pop-up dining events. We signed up for Open Table to try to get the word out more for people like, you know, that live a little ways away in some of the neighboring towns and villages to just know that we're here and know that we're more than a winery, and we have a lot going on here. There's a lot of events all summer long, and we're just trying to really make it a family friendly place to come and hang out and enjoy yourself. We do have some new products in the line. I don't think it's a big secret. I've told enough people. We bought cider from the Breville Cider Mill last fall, and we're coming out with our own branded hard ciders, along with a couple different new spirits. And then the winemakers, Derek stayed on, and along with Nick, who was kind of took a new role as a general manager here. And they have a lot of ideas of what to do with the wine and stuff. My wife and I know nothing about the vineyard side as far as the wine side. So that's why it was so important that those guys stay on, and they do a really good job here.
Absolutely. And just a final point for everybody that's watching, why would you tell someone to choose the North Country to move their business here or buy a business here? What is your selling point for the North Country?
As much as I would not have said this when I was in high school or college, I really do think, especially after COVID, I do think the North Country is an up and coming area, especially for a lot of young people. We have found out that we can work from home and that we can work basically anywhere now. Lewis County provides tons of opportunity to play. There is always, people say there's nothing going on in the North Country. I should say Lewis County. When I say Lewis County, I mean the North Country. There's always something going on in the North Country. There are events. It's a very nice place to work and to raise, especially to raise a family. We have 3 young boys. They love being outdoors, and my wife and I like to be outdoors as well. So it's a great place, and there is a great team in the background with all the organizations that are represented here today that really help local businesses and provide all the support we need for sure. I don't really think you would find that in some of your bigger cities. I don't mean North Country big cities. I mean big cities. I don't think you would find the support that we have around here for sure. So
thank you so much, John. That was a perfect little synopsis for everybody watching, and you are definitely a success story for Lewis County and transitioning businesses in the North Country. So thank you for your time. I'll hand it back over to Danny.
thank you, everyone.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Jenna. That was great. We're so excited to hear more about your story, and it was just wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand the mic over now to Angela Smith. She's with the SUNY Canton SBDC at Clinton Community College. It's taken me about 100 times to figure out how to say that name right, but I've got it now. We're good to go. And Angela is going to give us the crash course. How do you take over an existing business? Like, what does that look like? So she is incredible. She's a strategic business leader and hospitality executive with over 20 years of government, corporate, and entrepreneurial experience in manufacturing, food, and all sorts of other things. Angela is a lead partner for the Center for Businesses in Transition and a champion for small businesses in the North Country. Angela, take it away.
Thank you so much, Danny. I'm not sure I can follow up this very kind introduction. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the conference. I am so excited to give you a crash course today in taking over an existing business, and I have 10 minutes to do it. So as Danny mentioned, my name is Angela Smith, and I'm the Assistant Director with the SUNY Canton SBDC. The SBDC helps people who want to start a business, grow, and transition their companies. If you're not familiar with our organization, I'm about to let you in on one of the best kept secrets. The SBDC is a non-for-profit educational organization, and we work with both new and existing businesses. free of charge, no cost. We can offer free services because we're funded from New York State, the US Small Business Administration, and our host universities. Our host university is SUNY Canton, and there's over 22 centers across New York State and over 1,000 nationwide. So anybody in the United States who is looking to start a business should be connected to an SBDC and get their own advisors free of charge. I'm super excited that so many of you are interested in business ownerships and moving to the North Country. The Adirondacks is a great place to live. We have access to fresh, healthy foods produced by our amazing farmers. We've had an explosion in micro farms over the last 10 years. And of course, to be close to nature. And we're only 2 hours away from Montreal if you miss the big lights, bright city. Like you, my husband and I moved here about 15 years ago. We chose the Adirondacks because buying a house was a lot more affordable than Connecticut in 2006 at the height of the real estate market. There was great internet in the small town that we decided to move to. And again, the proximity to Montreal was important because that's where I'm from. Why am I telling you all of this? Because a major barrier to moving to a rural region is access to good paying jobs. My husband and I were able to move here because we owned our own business. So we were coming with our own revenue stream. But if you don't have a job that allows you to work remotely, or you don't have a business that allows you to move anywhere, how can you move to the rural regions? How can you be here? Well, you buy an existing business. And this is what this conference is all about. Buying a business might just help you realize your dream of living here and becoming your own boss. And your timing couldn't be any better because each day, thousands of baby boomers are retiring and they want to sell you their companies. There's huge opportunity right now in the market, and it's estimated that 12 million businesses are going to sell over the next 10 to 15 years. With this many companies coming onto the market, it's definitely a buyer's market for sure. In the North Country, it's estimated that 10 to 16,000 businesses are going to sell over the same period of time. Biz buy sell, we've been seeing the trend happening since 2005, where it's a steadily more and more businesses are coming up for sale, and the curve has already started to accelerate. And the good news is that it's not multi-million-dollar businesses that are selling, it is small businesses. The median sale price is $279,000. And there's more good news if you're looking to buy a business. The data shows that many business owners wait too long to sell their business. 72% of them don't have an exit plan, and they grossly underestimate how long it's going to take to sell their companies. Many owners are no longer interested in growing their companies because they're starting to wind down and they're going into retirement mode. Sometimes we've seen sales at good companies start to decline because the business owner has their mind on retirement. But all of this is good news for you, and it could spell big opportunity. So whenever you're looking at a company financial picture, ask yourself, what are the growth opportunities here? Is the current owner running this business part-time from Florida? Do I have social media or technical skills that the current owner lacks because maybe they're an older generation and that's not their thing? Can I add new revenue streams? When looking for a business to buy, try and find that diamond in the rough that has a good base of business, but lots of opportunity for growth. The pandemic has also created good opportunities for rural regions. If a business is COVID resistant, of course, it's going to be worth more. But again, for many older small businesses, and many older small business owners, they have been afraid for their health, which has actually accelerated their decision to exit their businesses. So that means they're really motivated to sell. Recently, we've met with an owner of a food service company. He's been in business 25 years, generates a six-figure income, and 6 months ago, he was ready to walk away from his business. He wasn't even ready to consider selling it, just walking away, protecting his health. I'm happy to report that after working with us, he's just about to sell that business and walk away with some money in his pocket. He probably could have sold the business for more if he would have wanted to wait around longer for a higher offer, but his priority was to protect his health. And new owners of this business have also gotten a really great deal because of the low sale price. There's a lot of other advantages to consider when buying an existing business versus starting up a new company. Startups can take 6, 12, or 8 months to generate profit. An existing business can do that on day one because it has a history of immediate cash flow that you can use to cover your living expenses. Existing businesses have proven business models, historical financial data, established customers, key employees, key suppliers, and often, as was mentioned before, the seller is there to help you transition and learn the business. And one of the most important factors as well when considering starting a business versus buying an existing business is that existing businesses are much easier to finance with the bank, and that sellers, many of our businesses transition with some type of seller financing. So that is also another advantage when considering what kind of business to start or buy. So how do you know what a business is worth? What is fair market value for a company? That's a great question, and the answer is it depends. But Value Builder system says that we can look at 8 key drivers of value. And the higher the score on these value drivers, the more valuable the business is going to be. So of course, financial performance is at the top, right? Cash is king. Does this business make money? Will it still make money after you factor in the new loan for you taking over this business? Do the tax returns show profit? Remember that you buyer should not be paying for anything off the books. Again, we talked about growth potential, making sure that it's not too dependent on one supplier or customers. Working capital is also another one really important to look at. So how does cash move through this business, right? Does it need a big cushion in the bank or does it run fairly lean? Because if you're buying a business, you might need to write 2 checks, one for the business and one for working capital. So the more money's needed, the less attractive the business. And of course, can this business operate without the owner? So there's many advantages to buying an existing business, but buyer beware. There's also a lot of lemons out there. Statistics show that 7 out of 10 privately held businesses lose money or don't make money at all. Do you really ever know why a seller's putting up a business for sale? Remember that retirement might be listing as the #1 reason for selling, but due diligence is critical. Make sure they're not just trying to dump a failing business, or that maybe there's a large competitor coming to the area and that's going to negatively impact the business. Assume nothing and check everything against the seller's story, right? Look at the financial statements, verify the transaction, look at the customer accounts. And if a seller's refusing to share information, that is potentially a red flag. Again, as Jon mentioned, buying a business takes time. There are many steps that the buyers and sellers must take together, and engaging attorneys and lenders and other people along the way. If you find a business tonight at one of the networking events, chances are it's going to be many months before you can officially own it. And I also want you to keep in mind that 95% of negotiations will fail due to poor communication. So be professional, responsive, and considerate when you're talking to a seller. Buying a business is and selling a business is a highly emotional process. It's important to understand what both buyers and sellers want and find that middle ground where both parties walk away feeling that they got a good deal. Your responsibility through this whole process, it's a huge decision. First and foremost, make sure that your family's on board because it's going to affect everybody. And you need to come to the table with some money. 20% or more typically of the sale price plus whatever other startup costs is a good measure. Make sure that you get your own team, right? SBDC, attorneys, accountants. Do not use the seller's team because they're not working for you, they're working for the seller. And of course, be sure to always maintain confidentiality. The SBDC and Center for Businesses in Transition are here to help you. Our services are free and confidential, and we work with both buyers and sellers, but rest assured, each one gets their own advisor, so we maintain confidentiality and can advocate for our clients. To get started with the SBDC, NewYorkSBDC.org to request your appointment. And that's it for me. Thanks.
Angela, that was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that information with us and keeping it to 10 minutes. Really, really appreciate it. That was wonderful. I'm going to switch one thing up. I think we're going to take a short break to watch a video about a potential seller that you could meet tonight. And then we're going to talk about the buying process. What does that circle that Angela talked about before, what does that transition process look like? And our friend Kim Manion, also from the SBDC, put together a great presentation about that. So we're going to go into that in a minute. But first, I would like to introduce you to Scott at Adirondack Logworks. I'm going to show you a short video about him and his business. He will be featured tonight at the Speed Networking event from 5 to 7 p.m. alongside 19 other business owners who are ready to talk about their business. These are folks who have done their valuation, made a sell sheet, are listed with a real estate. They're ready to have this conversation. So we're excited about meeting Scott and the other folks tonight. But let me show you that little video. Let's do it.
Well, my name is Scott Phillips, and I am the owner and head boss at Adirondack Logworks, where we make log railings, log stairs, log furniture, and just about anything else made out of logs. We always say, if you can imagine it made of logs, we can build it. Since I started in 1999 as a money-making hobby out of my basement. I had just finished building a log home, and I cut all the trees off the property and 40 tons of stone and 110 trees, and built a log home. And enjoyed doing it so much, I started this business as a hobby, and then got right into it full time and quit my job. I quit my job in 2001 and never looked back. And then every day we get to go out and put railings in people's houses and have them go, wow, look at that. That's my place. That looks so different. That's so cool. And just making people happy doing this is one of my driving factors. Getting this place, we have an apartment right here with us, and I'm home at night for the most part, and then I get to have breakfast here, and if something's going on during the day with my niece or one of the foster children, then I can certainly break out and be there. I enjoy the work. It's not easy work. It is hard work, but it's creative, and I get to work with wood, which has been a lifelong dream of mine.
All right, so now we're going to jump into some more educational stuff about what to do when taking over a business and talking about those process.
my name is Kim Manion. I am a consultant with the Small Business Development Center, and we are putting together some information for prospective buyers of businesses as well as owners who are interested in selling their business. This is kind of an overview of the process. You may not go through all of these steps. They may be in a slightly different order, but this is a general sense of what happens when a buyer wants to sell their business. First, they go through and they need to determine a value for their business, a price that they want to sell their business for. There are a number of different approaches to valuation, and the buyer will determine the best way to do that. It includes the goodwill of the business, the inventory, furniture, fixtures, and equipment, and anything else that they want to sell with their business. They're going to want to put a team together of individuals that will help them sell their business. They'll want to understand the tax implications of selling their business, the contracts and letters of intent that might be involved. So they're going to want to involve an attorney and other folks like maybe advisors from the Small Business Development Center and the Center for Businesses in Transition. The buyer is going to make some decisions around whether they want to sell their business anonymously, confidentially, or if they want full disclosure, right? There are pros and cons to selling a business kind of in full disclosure or confidentially. The seller, is then going to put a sell sheet together. This is like a resume for your business. It is a tight, concise 1 or 2 page document that puts the best foot forward of the business, highlights the best strengths and the assets of the business, and provides information. That seller is going to go through a number of different marketing strategies, whether it's online marketing or email, various industry organizations, that kind of thing. The idea is to turn up interested buyers, right? And then those buyers are going to need to be vetted by the seller. Is it someone that is capable of buying the business? Is it someone that's capable of running the business successfully? If they get far enough and they're going to want to start to discuss confidential and more involved information, they're going to need an NDA, that is a non-disclosure agreement. It is going to be a mutual non-disclosure because the seller is going to reveal delicate and sensitive information about their business. Similarly, the buyer is going to be asked to share information about their ability to buy the business. So financial information and potentially a personal financial statement. The buyer is going through an initial evaluation, which then evolves into a due diligence, but that's just a dive into the finances of the business and a look at the different aspects of the business. Is this a business that I am truly interested in buying, and really trying to understand that. The buyer is then going to make a decision if they want to put an offer in. And the formal way of doing that is through a letter of intent. And the buyer submits to the seller of a letter of intent, which outlines the terms, whether or not the buyer is asking the seller to provide some seller financing, that kind of thing. There's often negotiation that goes on at that step. The buyer then goes into a much deeper dive into the business and wants to know kind of everything there is to know about that business. And is it a good fit for them? Is it a business that they can take to the next level? Are there opportunities that they can capitalize on, et cetera? And there's often negotiation that goes on at that step as well. And it's very often that it's at this point, and it may have happened sooner, but the buyer and seller together are going to look at financing the purchase, and whether the seller is going to what we call hold paper, that is seller financing, whether they're going to be able to get bank financing. There are a number of different ways that a purchase can be financed, and the buyer is going to start to explore those. Eventually, you'll end up into a contract. There may be contingencies with that contract around financing, right? That you may have a contract, but it may be contingent upon the buyer being able to get financing. And then eventually you're going to get where you execute a purchase and sale agreement, and then you've sold your business. And that's a really exciting time for a seller and a buyer. So that, in a nutshell, is the process of buying and or selling a business.
Sorry, hi. So I know that we are going through a lot of information in a short amount of time. So thanks for bearing with us for that and trying to just take it all in as we go. We're going to take a few minutes and introduce our liaisons throughout the region. Each one of them is just going to present a very quick, high level tip or point about sort of taking over an existing business. What should that roadmap look like? What advice do they have for you? So we're going to get started on that. If we have time after that, we're going to do a quick poll of our audience and then wrap things up. So let's get started. So Kylie is hanging out with us from all the way over in Watertown. Just so you know, I'm in Saranac Lake. That's where I am right now. So it's far away from me, but we love seeing folks in Watertown and the Thousand Islands region. Kylie, tell us about yourself and what's your tip?
All right. Hi, Danny. Thanks so much. And good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all again for joining us at the Small Communities, Big Opportunities Conference. As Danny mentioned, I'm Kylie Peck. I'm the president and CEO of the Greater Watertown North Country Chamber of Commerce and a proud Center for Businesses in Transition community liaison located in Jefferson County. We're so excited to have you here with us. And I just want to let everyone know, as you navigate through the week, I want to encourage you all and all of our potential entrepreneurs to come into this with an open mind. The North Country has so many incredible opportunities with unique and quaint communities tucked in every corner. Even if you do call the North Country home, I promise there are new and exciting areas that you have yet to experience. So be sure to explore the nooks and crannies of our beautiful region for so many possibilities, including business ownership.
Great. Thank you so much, Kylie. Matt, coming at us from the Ticonderoga region. How's it going down there today?
Things are good. As Danny mentioned, my name is Matthew Courtwright. I'm the president and CEO of the Ticonderoga Area Chamber of Commerce. On the Zoom call with us is also Aaron Mullen, who is our member service and event manager. The Chamber is a community liaison for the Center for Businesses in Transition, and a proud one. And we're also kind of leading a process and launching a branded Small Towns, Big Opportunities initiative for the Ticonderoga area that will complement our work with CBIT and some other partner agencies. Business transitions do not happen overnight. I think we're probably all well aware of that, but they take time and preparation. Businesses looking to transition should begin planning 2 to 5 years before they plan to officially transition. Businesses transitioning on the business owner sides takes a significant amount of ongoing internal planning, organizing, and of course, promoting the possibility of the sale. In addition, on the new entrepreneur side, there is a lot of planning, projections, and the general process of taking over a business, which takes time. Thankfully, via CBIT, our program, our offices, and our partner organizations like the Small Business Development Center, there are so much business support services and assistance available for you.
Thanks so much, Matt. Hey, Ben, how's it going over there in St. Lawrence?
It's going just great, Danny. Hi, I'm Ben Dixon. I am the executive director of the St. Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce, and we are the community liaison to the Center for Businesses in Transition for St. Lawrence County. And I would just like to share with you all that when you're going into this process, you are not alone. There are numerous entities in the North Country that exist to help you, and we are here to connect you to them. Those entities include the staff and community liaisons of the Center for Businesses in Transition, Chambers of Commerce, the Small Business Development Center, the Adirondack Economic Development Corporation, the Adirondack Park Agency Economic Services, and industrial development agencies. We're all here ready to help.
Thanks so much, Ben. Love it. Jessica, how's it going? You're not that far from me. Where are you calling from today?
Hi. Good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yes, I'm in Plattsburgh, but we are located in Saranac Lake.
Great.
So a little bit about ADC. We provide business training, lending, and technical assistance to underserved populations and new and existing businesses throughout Northern New York. And like Danny had mentioned, 14 counties. And I think my question or my advice was about ADC. Our counseling and assistance is free. However, most professional services, there isn't anything free about buying a new business. Many costs involved in purchasing or selling a business. They do include attorney fees, accountant fees, possible real estate commissions, depending on the agreement, loan closing fees and interest, business valuation fees, and just things to be aware of. I think did I cover it?
Yeah, thank you so much, Jessica. Really appreciate that. So we have Carol Calabrese calling from Essex County. Carol.
Hi, I'm calling from Essex County. Yes, I'm Carol Calabrese with the Essex County Industrial Development Agency, and I'd like to speak to you for a moment on business plans. Business plans are very important to the success of your project. It'll help you put all the pieces together, marketing, evaluations of financials, financial projections. It'll help you do a SWOT analysis. Its key number one role is to help you achieve your goals. It will also hopefully help you leverage resources that will assist you in putting the financing package together to fulfill your dream. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carol. Great advice. Kim, also from the SBDC. What else you got for us today?
So yeah, I'm Kim. I am an advisor and counselor and consultant with the Small Business Development Center. I've been working with businesses affected by the pandemic, but I've also been working with many of the sellers that are participating in the conference, getting them ready to sell their business. So valuation. Valuation is a price of a business that it's made up of goodwill. That is the business's history, their reputation, their profitability, all that good stuff. The valuation also includes inventory, furniture, fixtures, and equipment, and potentially some other non-tangibles such as a website or a trademark, that kind of thing. The valuation needs to support the work the seller has put into building their business. But a buyer also needs to have a sense of confidence that they're paying a price that will, one, support the debt they're incurring to buy the business, two, that there's enough left for them to invest in the future of the business, and perhaps most importantly, that there's three, enough left to support them. The valuation or price has to work for both parties.
Thanks so much, Kim. Great advice. We have some friends from Hamilton County reaching out today and talking to us a little bit. Christy Rochelle.
Hi, my name is Rochelle Martz from Hamilton County. We are Center for Business and Transition Liaison, as well as Christy Wilt, who's on the call, is the Director of Economic Development and Tourism here in Hamilton County and the Executive Director of our Industrial Development Agency. Our bit of advice today is that there's no one pathway to getting capital. Don't stop at one no. Most counties in New York have loan programs that are designed for high-risk borrowers, and most programs are administered by volunteer committees that are much more lenient than banks. Even if you are denied for a project, sometimes working capital can be an option.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm up next. You've heard too much from me already today, but if you are interested, if you already work at the business that you are thinking about taking over, or you want to take it over with other people, you may want to consider turning it into a worker-owned cooperative. We have a great resources for that in our region to think about how to collectively and more democratically run an organization in that way. We have a great example that we can't talk about yet of a business that's converting to that kind of model. And if that's something you're interested in, we won't be covering it this week at the conference, but please do reach out and we'd love to give you more information. Back to Lewis County. We started the program and circling back to our friends in Lewis.
Hi everyone, it's me again, Jenna from Lewis County. I'm here to remind everybody that this can be an emotional process. Keep in mind that when businesses are selling, it can a lot of times mean livelihood and retirement dollars for that business owner. So keep that in mind as you're talking to people.
Thanks so much, Jenna. Right here in Saranac Lake, where I am, we have Patrick Murphy.
Hi, everybody. As Danny said, my name is Patrick Murphy, and I'm the Executive Director of the Saranac Lake Area Chamber of Commerce, and we're proud community liaison partners for the Center for Business and Transition. I wanted to talk to you folks today just quickly about confidentiality in the transition process. As both Angela and Jenna just mentioned, this is an emotional process for folks. So successfully transitioning a business is based on trust, and part of building that trust is acknowledging that information you learn from a business owner or information you might learn from an entrepreneur is confidential. And we should always be considerate of people's privacies and the information we might learn during that process. As Kim actually mentioned in her presentation, a common tool used for folks in a transition is a non-disclosure agreement. So please keep in mind when you're going through this process that information you might learn is confidential, and we always try to keep people's privacies in mind. Thanks, folks.
Thank you so much, Patrick. That's great. So this is most of our liaison team, but not all. We do have a few other liaisons that you'll meet throughout the program. Please refer to your program to see everyone there, including Russ Kenyon of the Franklin County Economic Development Agency. So please check all of those folks out. So we're going to be wrapping up here. There's two last things that we're going to take a moment to do. One is we're going to ask folks to do a quick poll about why you're at this conference, what you want to get out of it over the course of the week. And you'll be able to see the responses as they pop up on the screen. Lexi will put the link to fill out that poll in the chat, and I'll pull up the answers so folks can see it as we go along. And then if you want to stay on for an extra few minutes, you'll be able to look through and see where all these liaisons are from. What does the North Country look like? So if you're not from this region, that may be something you want to stick around for at the last few minutes. So for the next two items, you could stick around for them and participate. We would love that. If you need to jump off, we totally understand. And before we do that, I am going to throw in some of our closing remarks that we need to get in. What else do we got going on today? At 4 p.m., log in, same Zoom link. You don't have to figure out a different one. We're going to be talking about presenting yourself to a business owner. How do you make a good first impression? We're going to be talking to a professional recruiter about how to do that. And then the sort of bread and butter of the conference is tonight from 5 to 7 p.m. Well, you'll have the opportunity to meet 20 business owners looking to transition their business. So again, that's 5 to 7 p.m. Same Zoom link. Don't need to figure out something else. If you meet a business owner at any time through the program that you're really excited about talking to, there is a appointment time, either Friday night or Saturday afternoon. You can schedule a one-on-one with them. Lexi will put that in the chat as well. If there's a business owner you're excited about talking to, want to further that conversation without making a commitment, you can absolutely check that out. So she's putting those links in the chat for you now. If you attend the Saturday brunch session or set up a one-on-one meeting with a business owner, you'll be entered to win a regional experience package. A lot of the items are from the Ticonderoga area, but please do check that out, and we'll giving that away if you do one of those things. We've been using a lot of fun music in our videos. We've been using some open source music, thanks to Ketsa for a track called Gentle Wave. That's the credit that I need to give there. Reminder about the Down Payment Assistance Fund. If you want to give, if you want to help another business owner who maybe doesn't have the means to take over an existing business, please check that out in your email after the session. All right, so we're going to put up the poll for a few minutes and see why everybody's here and what they want to see. That link is in the chat to fill it out. And if you want to stick around after that, there'll be a quick slideshow of all the different regions that we cover that you can check out. So I'm just going to share my screen and show the results of the poll. So right in your chat, there should be a place where you can go ahead and put in your answers. In just a few words, describe what you hope to come away with from the Small Communities, Big Opportunities Conference. We recently moved here from Winslow, Arizona. I had an art gallery there. I would like to explore that option in this area. Tools to move the process along as efficiently as possible. Acquisition targets. I'd love to see what opportunities are available and connect with people in the community. Supporting business owners and aspiring business owners. Learning about our available resources. Great. Excellent. Well, I know not everybody likes to open another link as you're going through a program, especially at the end here. But if you have other things you want to share with us at any time, please feel free to email us at transitions@adirondack.org. Again, that's transitions@adirondack.org to learn more. Ask questions. We're here for you. We don't, don't be shy. We're making sure that all of our contact information is in all of the different sessions. So please do feel free to reach out. On the way out of the session as well, Lexi, you'll stick back in the opportunities slideshow that was at the beginning of the session. At the beginning of every session, there'll be an opportunities slideshow. Some of these businesses are businesses that are working with the Center for Businesses in Transition. Some of them have been submitted by local real estate agents or realtors. And so those are tons of opportunities for you to look through. And you can also go online to the CBIT website to see the folks that we are working with. Lexi will share those in the chat too. I know there's a lot of links. So thanks so much for going through them on your time. And we look forward to seeing you again at 4. If you're not from the area, I'm just going to move this screen a little bit and show you just a little slideshow about where all of our liaisons are from and what does the Adirondack North Country look like when we say that. So feel free to bop off and we'll see you later. But if you want to stick around, there's just a quick extra little presentation for you here too. Sorry, all my Zoom stuff is in the way of presenting. There we go. Ooh, there we go. Greater Watertown Chamber, Ticonderoga. All right, that's it, folks. We'll see you at 4 o'clock for the next session. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great afternoon.